What's up, nerds? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing part 2 of a video that we started a while ago. So we unboxed a whole bunch of budget reels, what we felt were the most requested, seemingly best rated, whatever, budget reels that were out there. So everything's under $100. A couple of these combos are also under $100, and we've got a few of those. So we have 6 baitcasters and baitcaster combos here.
It's a mess.
It's a mess. They're there.
Just trying to work over here.
Oh no.
Oh no,
we accidentally broke all the combos. So we've got 6 different combos here that we're going to be fishing. We're going to just do some casting right now. Here's what I propose for the day. We're going to cast these around. We're going to give a good feel review, you know, first thoughts, kind of
get a vibe.
Get a vibe. There you go. There it is. So we're going to get a vibe on all of these, fish them for a little bit, and then we're going to take like our favorite 2 out on the water because we're going to go fish for the day today. But we're going to bring 2 of these each, which means 2 out of the 6 are getting kicked off the island.
Well, you know what? Which one? What ones
we say don't buy these.
Yeah, what were the ones that we kind of thought were our favorite?
Yeah, we had good vibes on the Gravity, the Alloy M.
At the price ranges.
At the price ranges. So we're gonna fish these for a little bit here, give you our feedback real quick on these, and then like I said, our top 2 each, they're going out on the water. So let's get after it. All right, you guys, so I have the Handing M1 baitcaster here. These are fresh out the box, so we're gonna have to get these things dialed in.
What are you gonna dial, Jeff?
Everything.
I know, specifically.
So this goes up to 10 on the brakes. So I'm gonna go halfway to start. Got my spool tension dialed in, so I think we're good there. Oh, bro.
Sucks.
This is terribly good. Considering this thing is a 2-pack of reels for 48 bucks, we can call this essentially a $24 reel. I will say the drag is pretty light. You gotta dial it, essentially close it, set that drag all the way. Now I'm also testing out the, we said we were talking about some combos here. I'm also testing out the Handing M1 bait casting rod. So let's take a quick look at these 2 things that I'm casting around here. So, got your, I love their little tagline, simply fun. So it's the Handing M1 C702. So it's a 7'2" medium, and here we go. No, sorry, just straight 7 foot. So it's a 7 foot. 1/8 to 5/8 ounce is a fairly small weight range, but it is a medium, so that's why it is that way. Fast action. And then we've got the Handing M1 baitcaster, so you guys can see right here, and this one is a 7.2 to 1, so right up the middle. So could this just be a good all-around combo for under 100 bucks for somebody? I so far think so. I haven't landed a fish on it yet. If I land a fish, I think that might give us the whole picture, you know what I mean? But right now, like, dude, this thing is, I think I'm taking this one on the boat today.
All right, now I get to test my combo. Let's see what I get. Hopefully something good. Hopefully something phenomenal. All right, so I've got the Garcia Max Pro. We were gonna do the Black Max, or the new one, which is the Max X, which is a little less expensive, but so this one's right at the top of the price range. When I first got it in hand, when I compared it to some of the other combos that we were fishing, I didn't love it. This one was kind of the bottom for me, just because it was more expensive, and then you get limited ratios available, as in just one, which is surprising. So we're gonna see how this one works. I have it paired up with the Psycho Stick. Jeff's freaking out, and I got the old swim jig on here, so the 3/8 ounce swim jig. So I got it tuned up a little bit. I already set up the drag and the clicker, so let's just get a look and a feel. You do that way, I'll be not doing this. So quick flip, hiya! Honestly, very smooth. You get the external drag. I don't love like the fit and finish, but I didn't love it initially, but now I actually kind of think it's pretty legit. Even at 100 bucks, being one of the more expensive ones, even by like $10–15, it actually is pretty smooth. Is it worth spending that money on that versus a bunch of other reels that are close to it? Well, you get, I don't know yet. I have to put them next to each other, but 7 1-to-1 is not awful. The grips I love. I didn't love them at first. Well, I was kind of like indifferent, but these are nice. Yeah, this one's 90 bucks. So at the top of our $100 sort of range, but
almost out of budget.
Almost out of budget. Almost. But you can, in all fairness, you can get this on discount at any time.
It's the one that's always going to be on sale.
Yeah, this one is going to be on sale for every holiday, including Fat Tuesday. Like you're getting the Polish discount. All right, here, check that. All right, let's switch. Let's do a swappy swap. So you have the handing, I have the Abu. We're on the exact opposite sides of the spectrum.
Let's go about 5 casts.
And yeah, Jeff has the combo. Oh, see, this is so much bigger.
Huh?
This is so much bigger than that one
200
is.
size.
Yeah, this is a lot larger, much less low profile.
I don't hate it. Yeah,
it feels cheesier too.
Yours on a 250.
Well, yeah, there's nothing. Yeah.
What do you mean cheesier?
Okay, you don't think that the handing feels cheaper than that does? That thing feels rock solid.
Cheesier is not the word you were looking for.
Cheaper?
Cheaper, yeah.
Yeah, less high quality.
100%.
Okay. It casts well though. This does cast well.
If it was like my first combo as a kid, I would have been pretty pumped.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If you were like, look, I'm just getting into fishing.
You know, like, what am I trying to think of? Like, your parents would get you the off-brand thing, but sometimes the off-brand thing would be like
better than
core into the cheap.
Oh yeah.
Lean into their price point.
Yeah. No, this doesn't feel like that. This feels like a pretty well made. Okay. Yep. Didn't. The rod actually on this is impressing me more than the reel.
The rod, I was pretty impressed.
I love the butt section. Like when you grab it to do a hi-ya, it feels really good.
It's pretty slick.
Right? True.
And
yeah.
It's gonna get, when it gets wet, it's gonna be slick.
People have griped about having something like be very smooth on a handle, especially on the casting side. I have the M1 from Phoenix, and people have said the same thing. They didn't like that. Yep. I don't mind this at all. I don't need like I don't need a ton. I don't need grip tape on the back here to do this.
Yep.
But it feels really good. And I love the reel nut. The locking nut on this does feel really good. Like that. The feel on it's nice. I like this a lot better than almost 80% of the other rods that you get.
Yeah, especially for the price point.
Yeah, $75 to $80 for a combo of this quality is silly. So that was the first two, kind of on the very high end and the very low end of the price points. What's next? All
right, so next up for me, I'm doing this KastKing Spartacus combo, and I'm going to be casting and retrieving on the right.
So these are kind of our worst two, I think.
Which
out of the baitcasters,
okay, so we got the Daiwa CR80
yep.
that you'll be testing, and then I'll be testing the Spartacus. Oh, I just got followed all the way back and got bit by a baby bass with no trailer, just a random chatterbait.
Now, do all the reels we have external mag adjustment?
Yes.
Because the last two,
I just did a freehand cast, no dialing, and it was the bravest thing and the dumbest thing I've ever done. The knock that we had about this KastKing Spartacus is that the whole combo is super heavy. So oftentimes you're paying to get lighter weight materials, lighter and stronger usually, and more sensitive. And I'll say, as far as sensitivity goes, feels fine. Overall, kind of heavy in hand, but not overly uncomfortable. It's not too shabby for this price. I will say I don't feel comfortable bombing this one. I like doing a little like kind of flip or pitch test. Yep. Okay, that's pretty smooth. Honestly, this reel is a lot smoother than I expected it to be. Yeah, overall what I've learned is that budget gear is just fine. Honestly, smooth casting, pretty comfortable in hand, easy to dial. I mean, these were fresh out the box. We got them dialed in one cast, so yeah. Overall, I'm liking the reel, even though it's righty-tighty. Like, I can figure it out. I also like the I like the rod. So we got the 7.6 medium heavy fast Spartacus. Look at the hook keeper. Did you see that? Hook keeper's on the reel seat.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So that's pretty neat. That's
no one else can do that because they're not making this stuff in their own factories. Like KastKing is designing this and producing this in their own factory.
It also has a grippy cork.
Oh yeah, it's the cherry wood style.
You want to touch my cork?
Yeah. Let me see that.
All right, so this is like what you would see on a cork board.
I think so.
Very grippy. All right, last cast on this, we're switching. Yep. I'm not even using my thumb to control this, and it's that smooth.
Switch.
My thoughts, I like it.
This doesn't feel as big when it's on the rod. It is bigger though. Like, I think the handing is a little
like 150 pushing.
That one I don't think is. That one's pretty small.
Which one? Oh, this one?
Yeah.
This is a standard size.
I think that's pretty small.
Did you feel like this side plate was kind of...
No.
It felt like it's moving a little bit on me.
I did not, but maybe it is. Maybe after 6 casts, it's... Oh, wow.
6 casts. Oh, I thought you just lost that chatterbait.
Bye. No, yeah, we're good. Yeah, this is honestly, this is pretty solid. These both have drastically turned around my opinion of them from the initial. It's not bad.
So here's the secret hidden point that we can't give today, which is longevity.
Yeah.
Like, how do these hold up
over time? Yeah.
My feel is part of the cost is you're paying for how it holds up over time.
I agree, yeah.
Now, I can't say whether these will hold up or not. We'll just have to come back in the future and see how they did. There's no way you can test that in one video.
But that's where it goes back to cheap and cheesy. Like, when you...
If it's got a stronger feel fit.
This thing is heavy duty. This feels this feels rock solid. Like, it's bigger, but it also feels bomb proof. Just like the Abu felt like bomb proof. The CR80 feels way more solid than I thought it was going to once you get it on a reel seat. I thought it felt
cheap and cheesy.
Yes, it's a little bit cheaper and cheesier, but it's better than I recall when I first grabbed it. Because that's not good. That's a big not good for me. All right, and this honestly, the rod too. This rod is pretty nice. Again, for the price point, I feel much better about someone saying, "Hey, I bought a Spartacus. Like, what do you think?" I'd be like, but now, I don't know, man. I'm coming around to it.
All right, so Daiwa CR80, I would say for the most part, feels pretty good. What I will say is I talked about the side plate feeling kind of loose. It is that like carbon resin material, so it feels kind of funky. I think the knobs are a good size. They actually feel pretty comfortable.
I love them.
Good grip to them. Castability great. Flipping and pitching great. So most things good. Overall look, feel, and just
Smoothest one yet, though?
yeah.
I think
close to. It was pretty smooth.
Abu is the smoothest one yet.
I think I would go
Abu then Daiwa, but it's very close between the two.
I would actually go Abu and then Spartacus, then Daiwa, and then M1. But they're all like...
I thought that one had more range, but then I thought the Spartacus had more range. I thought the Daiwa was smoother.
I think they felt pretty similar.
All right, you liked this one better, right?
you just want to fish the alloy.
I do. I want to fish the alloy.
Yeah, these are two that might make it into our lineup as long as they don't disappoint us right now, but we'll see. So this is the Ark Gravity G1, and then we got the Piscifun Alloy M.
Now the Alloy M came in the higher gear ratio. I think this was an 8:4 to 1, but that one only came in the, I think it was 6.
This is a 6.4 to 1.
So a little on the slower side, and that was the only reason that one wasn't my favorite, even though overall I think that did have the nicest, most polished finish of this whole bunch.
Yeah, these are both, again, everything's under 100. I think that one was around 60 bucks.
That's right.
And this one was closer to 90. So this Gravity G1 frame is actually the Ark BFS frame, but just bigger. So it's got the same little hook keeper on the reel, which I love having. Just bomb that out there.
Scent. My God.
I did
with no trailer.
Oh my gosh. I almost jacked this one up because I did another straight out the box cast.
Like, it almost feels like
there's a bird's nest. Oh my gosh. This reel spool just moves. So overall, Ark Gravity feels like an Ark reel to me. I think they're super smooth. I do think that they take some dialing in now that I've owned 2 of them. They take a second to dial them in for sure. I've nested quite a few, but after you get it dialed in, it's one of my favorite reels to use. Now, this one has different knobs than the other 2 do. It's got kind of like a squared off edge to it that feels a little funky. It's nice and wide, a little bit tapered, and it does really have, like with that lower gear ratio, kind of that shorter 90 mil reel handle. If I can, I like to upgrade my reel handle length just so I have a little better feel, maybe a little more torque out of it, but that's just my opinion, spaceman. I like it a lot. I could see this one living in the lineup.
Now give it to me. This, when you push the button, you're like, I have pushed the button. Like, you know, it engages. It engages. It does feel like, it almost feels like it almost feels like a hollow frame. Like it's so, because it's so steady. Yeah. This is pretty nice. It is a little, it feels a little big. I think in your hand, this will probably be like perfect. I had a little bump. I had a little bump in there.
It was like, oh yeah.
Got one.
Nice.
All right, drag wise, not pulling any. Get in here, get in here, get in here, get in here, get in here. Oh, he got a little mouth on this guy. Get up here. Oh, that's a decent fish. That's not nothing, no slouching. All right, come here, you.
Turned up the drag a little bit there.
Well, there you go. We tested it.
Green pumpkin.
Thanks,
jig.
buddy. Oh, jeez. Yeah, the chatty.
I told you they've been chasing.
They did, yeah, that one did.
You just need one.
I like this one. 8.4 too. I mean, what a benefit for that price range. You know what I'm saying? This is nice. I don't love the grips. They feel cheesier than the other ones. I'll say that. Yeah. But you get over it very fast. Foam grips to me are middle of the road. Like I don't hate them, but I don't love them. The carbon, this carbon handle, it's bigger. This is like 100 or 90. It's like bigger.
A swim bait reel.
So yeah, this is.
It's a big bait.
I honestly really like this. You get the external adjustment. Silver looks cool. Feels good. The casting is it's very good. Smoothness I'd say is like good, but not like epic.
Yeah.
But very good. I'm still. I think is it the best one? It's right up there. This feels so slick. Right. Just right off the bat. Holy smooth.
It's just overcranked.
This thing isn't even doing anything. Holy crap. This is the smoothest reel in the lineup.
I think so.
That's not even close. This is night and day the smoothest.
Ooh, it does just. Ooh, actually, it just
sail on you?
It just failed the reel test.
What?
It overcranked. I think this gives me Piscifun trauma in that it's smooth, but it always acts like it's gonna overspool. The braid like hops. Is that a fish? It is. Yes. I did it. The green pumpkin chatterbait today.
Oh, baby. Oh, another, maybe the same fish.
Literally the
maybe
same
the same
fish.
guy.
All right, well, Alloy M has caught the most fish. 200% more fish on the Alloy M.
Oh, man.
The brakes are halfway, so let's turn the brakes up.
Before I would do that.
Brakes were halfway. Tension was pretty dialed for this setup. I mean, you can go a little. Just because someone in the comments is gonna be like, yo,
well, I mean, you gotta get it
don't you be mean to my Alloy M.
I like it.
I'm just going with how I normally dial reels. I don't usually go this high on the brakes. 7 now.
Yeah.
I usually go halfway, and that's basically where it lives. All right, you guys, so took a second, dialed up the mag brakes. Let me get cast in real quick. I don't know where Paul just went, but I can say that was significantly smoother. So just a couple of settings on the brakes made a big difference. Also, Alloy M, 200% more fish than any other reel in this lineup.
How does it feel? Like, I think
it feels good in hand. I actually like the size of it. It is oversized for sure compared to most other reels. Feels closer to like, yeah, it's an 8:4 gear ratio. It feels like a 200 size reel. These knobs are not the right size for this handle. I like the handle length. I think it's like a 110, maybe
it's like a 100. I think.
100. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So it's a little bit longer handle. I prefer those. These knobs are too small for this handle, so I would love to see bigger handles. Maybe you get a Gomexus or whatever, but that requires you to upgrade the reel you just bought.
It's not horrible though.
All right, you guys, budget reel test done. Somehow caught fish, even though we went like straight braid, no trailers, and did not intend to catch any fish. We were just trying to like test these reels out. So still had some fun with them. So let's look at the lineup. We're gonna start with the first 2 that we fish. We'll each give a score 0 to 10, how we feel about it. If it's not a 10, we'll give you a few reasons why, and then we'll go to the next 2 in the lineup. We're also gonna be walking away with 2 each, I think, 1 or 2 each, from all of these.
You were gonna say 1, but I think they're better than maybe we thought they were gonna be, and now it's maybe gonna be 2, no problem.
Shut up.
Yeah.
So we'll take 1 or 2 each, 2, out on the water for fishing today. So we'll give them a lot more time in hand, and we can add a few of those clips in here for this video. So 0 to 10, hand me Pro Max. Okay. Rod, Psycho Sticks, $250 rod. Yep. 10 out of 10.
12 out of 10.
Reel? 9 out of 10.
I'm going like 8.5. It was very good, like maybe 9.
So yeah, no, but being for real.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're giving it an 8.5.
I think I give it 8.5.
The biggest knock I have for the Pro Max is it unlocks a new category of price tier for the reels, that there's so many other great options that I'm not grabbing this first ever. This
was $100.
As a reel, if it were handed to me as a gift,
Blindfolded.
Yeah, blindfolded, I would feel it and I'd be like, this feels like a great reel.
Solid.
It certainly does. It casts really well.
The knobbies I love.
The knobs are great. The grips are great. Overall,
smoothish.
It's what I come to expect with a lot of Abu Garcia products. Like I fish a bunch of these. I really like them.
The thing I hate about it is I feel like this reminds me of all those old luge reels. This is like the exact same, this component right here is identical. Like
yeah,
really
with that
the
little
whole thing.
side pen side
This whole
plate.
thing is like the old luge reels. So that's very odd to me, probably made in the same factory.
Yep.
I'll say though, if you spend $100 on it, you wouldn't be upset. I think you'd be like, yeah, this is really solid. So when people are saying, go get this one at the $100 or sub $100,
Sure.
That totally makes sense to me.
Yep.
But to your point, as we'll get into, $100 you could do better, arguably, but you wouldn't be mad. This is pretty solid. This changed my mind. Upgraded score from my initial impression.
The way I look at it is I would pinch my pennies for a couple more months and just buy a Revo SX.
MSLX.
Or, well, I mean, at the same price, 10 bucks more.
A Luz LFS.
An SLX, an LFS. It's a tough price point is what I'll say.
It really
so
is.
I'm going to give that an 8.3 out of 10. Very solid reel. Okay, next. Let me clean this. Okay, so the next one's quite... Gotta give it that. All right. So the next one I feel is pretty divisive, right? So this is the Handing M1 combo. So here's what we're breaking down. We're gonna score the rod and the reel separately. Let's start with the rod. I think that the rod itself, for the price point, which is around 50 bucks, 60 bucks. So we bought these in like spring 2024, you guys. So the price might change. Here's what the price was when we purchased it. I feel like it was a really competitive price for this type of reel. When you look at the components, you got Fuji guides.
Rod, you mean?
All right, for this type of rod, when you look at this, first of all-purpose finesse is what we got, of course.
And it is finesse.
It's a 7-foot medium. It's 1/8 to 5/8 ounce.
And then the actual action of it, as far as like what you expect for this kind of rating,
It's smooth.
dead on and very trim. Like this was not a big, you know, big feeling rod. So I'd say definitely that's probably a 9 out of 10
Wow.
for the dollar. For the dollar.
For the dollar.
Yeah, for the dollar.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think that it's really solid. Neither of us could give it a 10 out of 10 because we didn't put a fish on it. So like, who knows? You put a fish on this thing, it explodes instantaneously.
It's also 2-piece.
It is a
so
2-piece.
That's part of the upgrade for me.
Yep.
I'm more inclined.
Long ferrule.
It's a long ferrule. It's well made. It's pretty much exactly what you want. I wish there were dots to line it up like KastKing does.
Yep, you just line up the guides.
Yeah, but still, like honestly, if you were traveling with this rod, I'd be like, let's go.
The reel, I was pleasantly surprised with because I expected a $24 baitcaster.
Because that's what you paid.
Be utter garbage.
$30-ish. The knobs are very nice. It's fairly smooth. It's definitely not the smoothest, but it's fairly smooth.
I think it's pretty dang smooth for $24.
Yep. You get the external adjustment, and I actually kind of like these ones when they work well. This one works pretty well. It's not. That's so much easier to dial than some of the others we've used in that that type.
Yep.
It's too big. So this is bigger than some of the other reels, and to me it felt cheap. Like it feels lightweight, but only because the components are not heavy duty, and that really was disappointing.
It's the same size as the Alloy M.
And the Alloy M is a lot more expensive, but feels, I mean, rock solid. Very hard.
Twice the price.
Yeah.
60, around 60 bucks when we bought it.
Yep.
Around $24 when we bought it.
So I think for the dollar, very, very good for the dollar, but overall it gets a much lower score because I think it actually falls below that point of like, I'd rather just pay 60 or 70 for a very nice reel versus way less money for less. So for the dollar, it gets a good score. My overall, just if you gun to my head, 6.5, 7.
I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I feel like if you only have 24 bucks to your name and you want a baitcaster, this is like one that I'd be grabbing.
Yep.
All right, so next up, we've got the KastKing Spartacus. This was the third combo that I used today, and I was also pleasantly surprised with this. As with like most of these reels, I think, today.
Yep, I agree.
That was kind of the name of the game. Now, the biggest knock for the Spartacus is that the overall weight, very high. That said, that weight brings with it a lot of what feels like good stability, durability. I think it's gonna hold up longer. This is a 7.6 medium heavy. This is a rod like that I would be looking for. It's a little heavy compared to most rods that I like to cast, so I don't see it making its way into my lineup. So this one is actually a 2-piece with 2 tips. Where's the tip section?
Right here. Starts here.
Is that there? Okay. So this is not a long ferrule design. It's like a tube design. So it's where one part inserts over the other one.
Lower quality.
Definitely lower quality versus the long ferrule design. So that gets it a knock. It does come with an extra tip.
Kind of cool.
Which is pretty neat. So like you snap the tip end instead of trying to glue it back together or just being out a rod, you put on the new tip.
Get the other one.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a 7.
I was gonna say like 7, 6.5, 7.
Solid 7 for me.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking good. And then the reel for me is probably again, for the dollar and everything, it feels like the Abu. Like other than the knobs, I liked on the Abu better. But for the price differential, I would pick this every time. So I'm giving that a 7 probably.
Yeah, I think the reel I would give a 7.5. Surprisingly smooth.
Yeah. Next up, we had the Daiwa CR80. So obviously high expectations to get the Daiwa brand here. When I first got it, it felt so cheap because of this resin plastic. Now they have other versions that are a different plastic that are in the same roughly price point.
They have a composite.
But yeah, that are gonna feel a little better than this. This is probably the lowest quality feeling one. However, it comes with a low price tag, but it's still like 80 bucks, I think, $79. So, but once I got it on a rod and cast it around, it felt a lot better. Jeff pointed out he was feeling some looseness in the side plate. I didn't feel that, but he was, and I respect that because that problem sucks. Like, it turned me off a lose for years. So it is what it is. It does come to 7.5 though, so that's a benefit as well. And in the smoothness department, I think smoothness per dollar, it's probably the second best one, maybe third best in the whole lineup. Didn't cast quite as far. That could be the rod and the whole, you know, you got something catching wind here. Didn't cast quite as far, but close in. I think it felt this is one of the better ones, close in for like flipping pitching. So I would not buy this for 80 bucks, but if someone had it, I think they would be happy. In terms of longevity, I do not think it's going to hold up as long as like the Spartacus or the Abu Garcia Max Pro.
I cannot justly rate that higher than the Spartacus or lower, so I'm giving it a 7 out of 10 as well. I think it's just okay at 80 bucks.
I'd give it a 6.5. That's one of the lower
surprisingly for a Daiwa. Okay, last two reels that we've got here are the Piscifun Alloy M and the Ark Gravity G1. So let's start with the Alloy M. We're gonna finish with the Ark. So here is your Alloy M. This was one of our most requested reels to test at this budget. Some people are saying like they've got several of these in their lineup. Absolutely love it. Overall, I'd say in hand feels very good. One thing I pointed out, the knobs are well undersized. I would love these to be as big as the Spartacus or even the Pro Max. Like, I would just love bigger knobs on this. So that
you get the length, which I would take that over the size all day.
Yep, knobs I didn't like. Length of the reel handle, very good. I like that. Overall feel of this feels good. It's like a good material compared to like the CR80, right? This feels so much better to me.
Best materials, I'd say.
Yeah, it's overall lightweight, but feels durable, so it's awesome. You did end up having to dial up the braking system much higher just to get it smooth compared to the rest of these. Most of these we were sitting at about like a 5 out of 10. This one we had to dial up the most, but overall it ended up being smooth, and it's just something you would have to know going into fishing this. Bomb cast. Oh, also it caught 200% more fish than anything else.
So that's a guarantee. Now this was our top after just having it in hand. I would say it's still like an 8 out of 10 for me, even at the price point at closer to the $100, but still pretty, like definitely under.
I'll give it, I'm gonna lean in for my commoners here. I'm gonna give it an 8.3 out of 10 because I know a lot of people like this, and I'm saying I like it. At the price point, pretty good. Here's how much it was. And I think that it's definitely a value, so
I would agree.
Check it out, guys. All right, last one we got here is the Ark Gravity G1, and this was my favorite out of the lineup. And
Jeff and I both, we were kind of competing as to who got to pick this as the favorite.
And who gets to take it home.
Yeah,
you too can own a Gravity G1.
I like them. So the Gravity G1 is their new budget entry. We had this at iCast. We were impressed by it, and it comes with a lot of high-end components, as you know, some of the other stuff. It does have the shorter handle, so this is a standard, and then but it's got the nicer knobs, and this is a knob that is, if not my favorite, right up at the top. You get a really small profile, quality feeling frame, hands down. This is in another class of smoothness compared to the others. When you cast this one, after casting all those, this is in a much higher class of smoothness. I think this one was 90, so $10 under the $100 price point where we wanted to be. The only drawback is your only option is a 6.4. So that does kind of suck. Like 6.4 is that's a reel that when you get a bunch of reels, it gets kind of pushed lower and lower. If they did this at a 7 to 1, this would probably be a 9.5 out of 10.
But you crank with it, small swim baits.
You do anything
top
with
water.
it, you're just gonna have to work at it and be cognizant of the 6
I'm not flipping or pitching or frogging with
Probably
it. I can
not.
tell you
No,
that
no,
much.
God, no. But for anything under
Yeah.
that, under heavy application, like this is great. Yeah, you'll be fine. This for me is like a 9 or a 9.5 because it's at $90. You get everything you want. The only drawbacks are I would like a longer handle, but I'm not going to complain about it. This is fine.
Yep.
And I would like to see like at least a 7.1. If this was 7.4, this would be probably a 9.8 out of 10. Like,
this would be a 9.8 out of 10 for me if it was a 7.3 or 7.4. I'm gonna give it a solid 9 out of 10. Hands down my favorite. Very pleased with it overall. But I also was very pleased with a lot of these reels. So like, don't take it the wrong way if I gave one like a 7 out of 10 or whatever. It's just like our opinion, comma, spaceman.
Yep.
And you can give your opinion, comma, spaceman below and pick up your comma, spaceman shirt in the store. All right. I'm actually gonna take the handing. I'm gonna go with.
You're not.
Yes, I am.
Wow.
Why not?
Hey,
It's not because it's my favorite. I'm throwing an alternate in here.
Yeah, we got to beat it up.
I want to beat up the handing because so many people will say like the handing should have done better and it's like the budget rod, you know, whatever. Here's the deal, you guys. I'm gonna beat it up. I'm gonna put it to the test today. I'm gonna fish top water on
Pump
it.
the brakes on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna take that, not because it's my favorite.
No, you just loved it. You couldn't have picked anything better.
I'm gonna take it not because it's my favorite, but because a lot of people are like, you should be able to just do this, go budget, handing. So I'm gonna do it for you guys, all right? And then if I hate it, if I have a bad time on the water, it's your fault.
You know what? I'm having a tough time picking between the Spartacus and the Abu.
Take the Pro Max.
I think I'm gonna take the Pro Max. Look, I mean,
Paul takes the best two out of the whole.
Well,
for him.
Yeah, I mean, well, no.
Other than
I
the
like,
alloy.
I like the alloy quite a bit.
Other than the alloy. All right, you guys, so that's all we got for you today. Stay tuned to see how those do in a future fishing video. Probably a topwater one because it's gonna be a hot day and the fish are moving and we're on good old reliable Dink Lake, so I'm sure it's gonna be great. We're gonna get after it. You guys should too. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the water. Bye.